What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. I am Love Coach Scott Catamas, and welcome to the Awakening World. It's Saturday night, and we've got some great music tonight with Omashar, who's going to do 2 or 3 numbers for us. And tonight, it's all about the TwinRay community. You know, you probably have noticed that a lot of our shows now are collaborations. Well, the last month alone, we've collaborated with Unity Earth, we've collaborated with the Evolutionary Leaders Network, we've collaborated with Soul Search, and tonight it's all about the TwinRay community. Now, originally, the plan was that tonight was going to be the grand reopening of the Haven, which is the spiritual center and beautiful, it's a tea lounge and a crystal store in downtown Ashland. It's the TwinRay home, commercial home, if you will. But I woke up to a gorgeous snowfall last night, and it was just like a winter wonderland, but not the best time for us to, with driving and everything, try and have everybody coming down off the hills and the mountains to come to our event tonight. So we decided to postpone it probably for about 2 weeks, but we still have all sorts of wonderful TwinRay activities planned. And we're going to share some really beautiful videos with you. And we're going to have a powerful KES group healing. But we also have Omashar with us, of course. We're going to go to him for music in a moment. But I also want to just check in with 2 of our absolute favorite people, Andrew and Connie, who are in Australia. So Connie and Andrew, you're looking quite dapper. I like the hat. Tell us, unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about what's happening in Australia.
Good day, mate. It's great to see everybody. This is my Costa Rica hat, but it works just as well in Australia, keeping the blazing sun off. Yeah, we've been here for just over a week, and it is quite extraordinary, the Australian hospitality. We've been welcomed and wined and dined and treated with such love and respect, and that's amazing. And the most extraordinary thing that we did, the very first thing we did after settling in, was to leave Sydney and go deep out into the outback, into the bush, to the burial site of a 42,000-year-old burial site of an indigenous elder. I think 42,000, like Moses was, what, 4,000, 5,000 years ago? This is the deepest antiquity of humanity that we know, for a celebration, a commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the emergence of this extraordinary skeletal, perfectly preserved skeleton covered in red ochre, with meaning that it was a very ceremonial burial, very intentional. There is no red ochre within hundreds of miles of the burial site, so they must have obviously brought it from elsewhere. And really interesting, so many things to be read into it. With the man who discovered the remains, Jim Bowler, who's the dad of Ben Bowler, and Ben's kids and Ben's mom and the whole family. It was quite a tribal gathering. And Connie, would you like to give a little your insight into the significance of this?
Also the custodians, the original owner custodians, Aboriginal folks were there, and with open hearts and open minds for going forward together into the future. And Jim Bowler's whole vision is that this is the time of the meeting of the dreaming, of bringing the scientific mind, the Western mind, into alignment with the deep indigenous knowing that comes, how they express it is out of the dream time. The dream time is the expanded connection to all that is, that we access through our dreams and through our knowing. And so it's so aligned with our vision and mission in our lives of bringing the indigenous knowing to the Western mind. It's astounding. And it's a frequency thing, you know, it's the spirit is bringing us all together on a frequency level. And so it was just such a blessing. We were there recording it for the future, and loved and honored by Ben Bowler of Unity Earth, as we all know Ben and love Ben. And so it was extraordinary to be there at Lake Mungo out in the outback. And then we were brought down here to the coastline where we are now with a friend from Sunrise Ranch, the EDL community, Emissaries of Divine Light. So we're being hosted and nurtured and loved by her now. So it's just been extraordinary. And we were welcomed by an Aboriginal woman who we stayed with in Sydney and who oriented us to life in another country. Fortunately, they speak English here, but still orienting to life in another country it takes some doing. And so it's just been extraordinary.
Great. Fantastic. All right.
It's much more, yeah. Scott, there's much more detail, but that's probably enough until and unless you'd like more.
And much more to come.
Yeah, much more to come. So yeah,
We've just been here a week.
We'll see if we can check in every week at this time. In places with no internet, but right now we're actually, as you can see, very organized. And we're actually completely off the grid in this beautiful home, this organic home you can see behind us. And anyway, with internet. So
it's been 1,000 miles that we've traveled, or actually over 1,000 miles that we've traveled within a week. Into the desert on 2 hours on a dirt road, into Lake Mungo, and in and out. And now we're here on the coast in this magnificent, lush,
beautiful beaches, and you're there in the snow, and we're here in the subtropical sunshine.
And actually, we went through a ski town.
Ski
town. I'm from Aspen, Colorado, and to be in the ski town of Southern Australia was extraordinary. So anyway, that's our report for now.
Thank you for the report.
Thanks,
our wonderful honeymoon couple out on the road in Australia. It's funny, actually, I've been working a lot with clients in Australia. I just did a session before this with a client in Australia, and there's quite a few that I'm working with in Australia. So Australia is in our consciousness. I'm going to point out a couple more community things, and then we're going to get to our first song with Omushar. But I want to acknowledge Carol Craig. Carol is someone who's been with us from the very beginning. She's, of course, a teacher who also travels all over the world. And I just want to read kind of her report for the day. She says, "Wonderful day today, gathering with the Poor People's Campaign in Providence, Rhode Island. We gathered and marched to the State House in solidarity with many organizations together, pushing agendas for voting rights, housing issues, Medicare, immigration, environmental protection, education, and so much more." So thank you, Carol. I really want to acknowledge that's a good day well spent. And before she gets up and dances, I'm going to put the focus for a moment on our beloved Eleanor Joy, because we're getting very, very close to her special time. There she is. Just want to remind everybody that Eleanor Joy is going in for her surgery this week on Wednesday. So as we're watching her dance, let's send extra love, extra blessings, maximum grace to our beloved Eleanor Joy and her compadre, Ian. Good to see you both together. And there's the cue. We're going to go to Omashar for our opening song. And I know that get ready, everybody, to get up and move and groove. I see the wild monk Jerry is with us, and Reverend Jeffrey is with us. So I know we're going to have some good dancing tonight. And there's Omashar.
Whatever happened to the ones that came before? Did they just vanish into the blue? Maybe they're living the dream we know to be true, and reaching their hands back out of the blue. Heart is so ready to embrace all that's new. I feel the love calling for me to break on through. With peace on my mind, I know that I'm coming to a new way of life that feels so true. There's nothing here to hold me back from you. The clouds of my life have blown away. My lightness of being lifts me every day. I find myself feeling not so blue. Heart is so ready to embrace all that's new. I feel the love calling for me to break on through. With peace on my mind, I know that I'm coming to a new way of life that feels so true. Maybe they're living the dream we know to be true, and reaching their hands back out of the blue. My heart is so ready to embrace all that's new. I feel the love calling for me to break on through. With peace on my mind, I know that I'm coming to a new way of life that feels so true.
Hey, let's go to gallery view and give a lot of love to our beloved Omashar for getting us off the
Actually, tonight you need to give love to the three of us because we did it. It was a group thing.
Yeah, I appreciate now it was a three-part harmony with you.
It was
yes.
me and him and him.
Right. It's a perfect three-part harmony. Well, to learn more about all the wonderful people that travel with Omashar, let's go to his website. It's his name, omashar.com. And that's where there are announcements and we can learn about him. And of course, always we want to buy music from Bandcamp because they're the most generous. So there are his albums. And if you haven't bought them yet, let's all go to omashar.bandcamp.com or to omashar.com and click down. And that's where we can support our beautiful beloved brother, who will be back with multiple musical numbers tonight.
Thank you so much.
We love you, Omashar.
Love you too.
All right. So, a lot of people ask about the TwinRay, who are they? And I've done, of course, many, many shows with them. And I've really had the good fortune to get to know them quite well. I lived at their sanctuary for a couple of months over the summer. And what I want to say is I've traveled the world. I've met a lot of spiritual teachers. I was very close to Ram Dass when he was alive. And of all the spiritual teachers I've met, I would say they're the most integrated in that they're young. They're in their early 40s. They're very active. They're doing a lot. They're very, very, creating a lot of amazing things in the world. But they're always loving. They're always kind. They tend to be funny and light in a beautiful way, yet very focused and always compassionate. And ultimately, they are beautiful role models for 5D reality. They are demonstrating, they're a living demonstration of what it's like to live in a state of grace, a state of love, a state of presence. They don't have emotional ups and downs. They don't get angry. They don't get upset when things go different than have been planned. They tend to laugh and go, isn't that something? And they're beautiful role models. And they're also extremely talented and extremely wise. And I'm really excited to share with you, and you're going to be among the very first people to see this video. And it's a video they created along with one other person. You all remember DJ TwinRay. He was our KES group healer just last Saturday night. So the three of them created this video, which is really an introduction to their work. And it's a video that actually has some wonderful tools and some wonderful practices. Some of you may want to even get out a piece of paper and a pen, write down a few things, or take notes on your computer, or just kick back and enjoy. It's visually gorgeous. It's a very visually beautiful video. So with no further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce you to their new kind of introduction class, if you will. And it's called the Golden Life Wisdom Course. So here we go.
Welcome to the Golden Life Wisdom class. Now, before we begin, we ask you and invite you to give yourself the gift of presence and make sure that you have time to be undistracted for the entire duration of this wisdom class.
What we know through many of our students sharing is that when they receive our transmissions, their channel opens up even wider. And so you may have
You're muted, brother.
Sorry, that was an accident on my part. I didn't mean to stop the video. We're going to have to start it over from scratch again. Sorry about that. My mistake.
Welcome to the Golden Life Wisdom class. Now, before we begin, we ask you and invite you to give yourself the gift of presence and make sure that you have time to be undistracted for the entire duration of this wisdom class.
What we know through many of our students sharing is that when they receive our transmissions, their channel opens up even wider. And so you may have epiphanies, you may have those aha moments, you may have certain questions that you've been wanting answers for actually answered. So it's good to have a notepad close by and just give yourself the sacred gift of presence to really tune in. You may feel your heart opening, your field expanding, and really this is our gift to you, and it's dedicated to support your life so you can live the greatest life possible, which is what we call the golden life.
Yes, and before there can be a golden life, there first must have been a golden seed. The golden seed is the process by which the soul incarnates itself into both a physical and an energetic body. It leaves within its signature the gold print of how to transform itself through the training ground of the earth. The golden seed has within its very makeup the knowing of how to evolve and involve through this training ground, but sometimes needs a little help. Now, the initial outcome of this soul's training ground is self-actualization. But inbuilt into the seed is a much deeper longing and a greater potential for transformation. The path to bringing this golden seed to bloom and your dream to life takes courage and perseverance. As a seeker, healer, or even a mystic, you most likely have a greater dream for the world, one that serves the awakening of humanity. Whatever it looks like, whatever way you wish to do it, we know you have a piece of this whole puzzle, and that is why we are sharing this with you. Your unique soul blueprint and coding is necessary for bridging and building the golden age of peace. But again, it must start from within and begin with you creating your golden life to fully live your divine potential. This is all part of the training ground for the soul, which we call the soul's sadhana. We're inspired and we feel it's time to refine that soul's sadhana right now. And we will do our best to make this class fun while sharing with you the wisdom that we have acquired along our very unique spiritual journey. In this class, you will not only uncover deep information about yourself, learn a secret formula to ultimate freedom and success, learn the steps to raise your vibration permanently, but you will also learn a bit about us, the journey that we ourselves have undergone, why we are doing this, what makes us different, and why you may want to learn from us. Now, one of our very favorite things, which as you get to know us more and more, you'll find out that we really like to go straight into the hard questions, because you have to face these questions at some point. We certainly have had to do so.
And we also love to answer the questions. We love to have answers for questions that may be thought of impossible to answer. And so through this journey, we also want to explore different aspects so those questions can be answered, and then also greater inspiration can come from those answers for your life.
These types of questions, such as the one in the quiz that likely was the gateway that brought you here, provide great insight and an opening door to the light where answers are found. What is your dream? What is it that you truly want? If you could wave a magic wand and create your perfect life, what we are calling your golden life, what would it look like? We encourage you here to get as specific as possible when you begin to answer this. Take your time. Now, this is a good time to go and get a piece of paper and a pencil, just in case you feel called to write things down. Yes, I said a pencil. Why a pencil? Well, here's the secret. Pencil is lead, and lead, unlike ink, grounds energy much better to be made manifest. That is the first wisdom jewel of the day. Now, as you're going through this process to determine what it is that you truly, truly want, take a moment to feel deeper into your heart. Is it the love of your life that you're trying to manifest? Perhaps it is a bigger house. Is it a life of travel that you seek? A new career? Whatever it is, we're going to ask you now to do your best to follow it all the way through as far as you can take it. Now, what if by embodying the totality of your soul's blueprint, everything that you want actually magnetizes right to you? This is just one piece of what we're going to teach you through this journey.
We've seen that there's a divine blueprint. And when you activate that divine blueprint that's waiting inside your soul to be brought into your life, every dimension of your life can be transformed, such as health and wellness for your physical dimension, greater love and happiness in the relationship dimension of your life, greater success and prosperity in life, and then also gain greater knowledge and wisdom to help your soul ascend to greater levels of embodiment in your spiritual evolution.
Now that we've validated the importance of actualizing the 4 different aspects of life in the material world, we're going to take it to a much higher level. Because even though we can and will take you through these manifestation techniques to magnetize the 4 dimensions of life that we have briefly touched on, our main focus as teachers, and what truly makes us different and why you want to learn from us, is our ability and passion to help you master the much higher levels of ascension. As promised, we will be returning and going back over the subject on how to manifest these aspects of life, and of course give you the secret formula in this wisdom class a little later on. But first, let's see how ready you are for the highest level of embodiment and spiritual attainment. We've already gone through the exercise of having you determine what your dream is. But take a moment to think about this next question. What if, within the intelligence of your soul, its greatest desire, and thus your highest desire, was to realize its eternal and immortal nature while still in the physical body? Now, that begs the question, do you believe immortality is even possible? Did you know that there is over 160,000 recorded and documented occurrences of the immortal light body on the planet?
Yeah, it's quite surprising that there's many recorded case witnesses of this phenomenon occurring. And not only that, different traditions from East and the West reference the immortal light body. And there's been many beings that scriptures have been written that have pertained to ascension and the immortal light body, such as Enoch, such as the prophet Elijah. Also in the East, there has been many Tibetan Vajrayana Buddhist expressions of the rainbow light body or the diamond body. There has been secret teachings in Egyptian mystery schools outlining the expression of the body of Ra. In inner alchemist circles of Taoism, there has been records of the white cloud body. In the West, especially Gnosticism and Christian mysticism, there has been depictions of the resurrection body or the glory body. Why is it important for you to reflect on this? Why is it important to the golden life?
It is because what we know is that you and people all over the world truly want is to end suffering. And there's only one permanent way to do this. And that is to realize the immortal nature of the light body that holds the keys to liberation.
So what happens if you don't go through this process? What happens after death? Well, the physical body decomposes, and what remains is the subtle body. And every religion speaks about an afterlife. There is no religion without the teachings of the afterlife. And in the afterlife, it's your subtle body that remains. And that subtle body is made of your emotional body, your pain body, your mental body, where all of your karma is recorded. Karma means action. It's the actions that have been imprinted through memory that is recorded in the subtle body. And so if you don't purify the lower bodies, if you don't go through the higher processes, it's the subtle body that reincarnates again
And again.
until you go through a process where you unify the lower bodies with the higher bodies. And so as you actually embody more what's called your higher self, or the greater aspect of you, your divine self, those lower bodies get harmonically inducted into your higher bodies. And as they merge, it produces what's called the body of light. And this becomes a vehicle in which you can consciously utilize. So anytime there's a transition point, or what's known as death, you can consciously transition out of the body, go into this immortal body of light, and actually no longer have your memory scrubbed. Because what happens when the lower bodies return to the causal body at the end of life, you have no longer any memory. So when you reincarnate, you have to go through this veil of forgetting. Then you have to walk through life to try to remember different aspects of your spirituality. The immortal light body offers you the freedom to no longer hold any suffering and have to go through the cycle of reincarnation where you forget all that you truly are. And it allows you to actually choose where you incarnate, because you have the freedom to not only choose the world that you incarnate into, but you can actually choose different constellations and even different universes. What's quite profound about this, Shekinah Ma actually came in at 33 years old. And 33 is a very significant number. It's a master number. It's also the number of ascension. And she brought her light body into a dying body. The physical vessel was dying. It was rushed to hospital and going through sepsis, where all of the organs were failing. And for 6 days and 6 nights, she was on life support. Well, Shekinah Ma actually brought her light body of light, into the physical body, completely healed it, and then awoken that physical body, and then she took this physical form. And what was quite amazing is that this is something that has been taught in ancient mystery schools, and also has been known in secret traditions of how to do this, how to actually take the higher levels of the light body and take other forms. Some of history's greatest teacher in the East, for example, Bhoganatha, was a great rishi, and he was recorded to do this. He actually took another form where he left his physical body, took his light body, and went to China and took the form of Latsu. And obviously, the I Ching has a very significant history and influence of Taoism, and this is something where we feel that the collective is ready to understand this knowledge even greater, because when you have ultimate freedom, you have control of your light body, immortality is not just a question that can be poised, it becomes a living reality.
And SanadaJI was directly initiated and personally taught by the immortal yogi known as Mahavatar Babaji Nagaraj, who was Yeshua ben Yosef's teacher when he traveled to the Himalayas during what has come to be known as the missing years of his life. And Bhoganatha was one of Babaji's main teachers that SanadaJI also learned from. This is our lineage, our greatest passion, and the path that we have followed and will continue to follow all the way. And so he knows very much what this body, my body, has gone through. He understands completely the process that it takes to bring the light body in to a physical and dying body in order to resurrect it, and all of the processes thereof and thereafter, year after year after year.
You know, what was quite interesting is that as I spent time in the Himalayas, and as I spent time in many caves in sadhana and practice and receiving these direct teachings, is that when I met Shekinah Ma, she was the only other being that I had actually come into contact with that could finish my sentences when I was actually sharing about some of these processes. And not only sharing about these processes, actually she had gone through them herself. And what we had learned is that there is a genetic, literal blueprint that's, once you harmonize different areas of your life, once you come into harmonic resonance, you can actually go through this ascension process, which is an inner alchemical unfoldment, and it helps transform those lower bodies that we're speaking about and can fuse into the higher bodies as well. And so, you know, Shekinah Ma had extensive knowledge of this. Why we want to share this is because in order to access some of the great wisdom of ascension, and when there's a point in the journey where you choose a transition, you can choose it consciously. Other beings have done that. Yogananda, for example, consciously chose to transition from his body at a specific time. And after the fact, his body was preserved for many weeks, where it didn't decay. It had a perfume aroma.
Smelled like roses.
Yeah. So this is something that isn't only for special beings, even though many special beings have attained this. This is something that's genetically encoded as a potential if you understand the process of how to go through this. And what's exciting is that this is where you start accessing your divine potential, when you start remembering what your divine potential is, and at the higher levels of your energetic field, that blueprint can be awakened and remembered and realized. And there's so much benefit that can come from walking this. We've just spoken about the most exalted aspect of accessing the immortal body of light, and how there's recorded studies, there's recorded cases, there's evidence of this in antiquity through different written scriptures. There are many different historical figures and ascended masters that have demonstrated this, such as Lady Nada, Isis, Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, Dwal Kul, Kuthumi, and many, many more that make up the Ascended Collective that we are a part of. And we're in this new age of time. We're in this opportunity where there's more awakening happening on the collective than the last 5,000 years.
And some of you might look at what we just said and say, how is that possible with so much chaos in the world? Well, not only is it possible, but it is the reason why there's so much chaos in the world.
Yeah, there's a whole new grid structure, a grid structure of unity consciousness, and people that are not operating with unity consciousness, not operating with their heart and their head, they're not feeling that connection, and there's greater division that can arise from that.
It's simple. The more light there is, the light comes in and shines itself in the dark, and all that is hidden, buried and covered up must come to the surface in order to be brought to light. And that's exactly what's happening.
And so when we focus on what we'll be teaching, what we'll be sharing, everything that we have to offer and have to share, it's important for you to know that it's from our direct experience. We're not teaching you something that we read in a book or we've heard from somebody else. We're teaching you what we've actually had to go through.
Yes, all that we teach and share is now and continues to be a part of the path that we have walked, done our very best to embody with our every breath, and that we are now inviting you to step into. This is a path of self-realization. But before one can become self-realized, one must become self-actualized. And this is where the other three dimensions of life, the physical, representing health and wellness, the emotional, representing love and relationships, and the mental, signifying career and prosperity, become very important as stones laid amongst the path leading to the fourth, which is wisdom and spirituality. Let's now go back to the manifestation of these important dimensions of the prior three and ask you to take a deeper dive into the waters that you have dipped your toe into at the very beginning of the class. Now, take a deep breath and
Envision, what would your perfect life be? Where the dream life, the successes that you've wanted to attain in this physical world, the relationship that you want to have or are having currently, that you want to take it to a higher, a deeper level. Maybe physical body wants to be healed. Maybe there's certain aspects of greater vitality. What do you envision? Take a moment now to envision what the golden life could be in these three areas. First, physical dimension, health and wellness, having your securities met. The dimension of love and relationships, accessing greater happiness and having harmony through all the relationships that you do have, or healing past relationships that may have been in conflict. And then also, what does success look like? Feeling prosperous, what does that mean for you? Is it for yourself or is it to serve others? And take a moment just to feel that frequency and invite it into you, to know that it doesn't have to be so far away in the long distant future. It can be brought to you now.
And what if, by feeling that feeling of love, of success, of prosperity, of a healthy, strong, vital body, you could immediately bring that reality into your world? What if, by the power of your will, you are able to magnetize and magnify this exact life that you are wanting to call in?
Yes, and there's a secret way to do this. It's from what level are you operating from? So we want to outline the journey that one goes through when one starts embarking on a spiritual, authentic journey of life.
Let's use a metaphor for this. Imagine that you're at the top of a mountain peak and you're so high up you can see the visage below you. You can see people looking like tiny little ants and a town below you, and everything is wide and deep. And you have an intention. You're asking the universe, you're asking the divine for something that you want to bring. And in this intention, you put it in a boomerang and you send that boomerang out with all your love and all your faith that it's going to come back to you. And the universe says, yes, you are matching at this moment your intention. You're at the height of heights. You're feeling the air in your hair, on your face, the sun, the warmth, and you're feeling that frequency. But something happens. Something changes you at that moment. Let's say you have a thought. Let's say there's an event that occurs. Anything that can trigger you can immediately shift that. And at that moment, you're no longer at the top of that mountain figuratively. You are now at the bottom of the mountain. And yet the universe has given you back that boomerang, but you're not there to catch it. You're not there to receive what the universe is conspiring to give to you right at this very moment. So we liken this to frequency. We liken this to the ability to hold your frequency and vibration so high that the reality that you want is an exact match in order to give it to you.
Just like, for example, the 4 chambers of the heart. If one chamber of the heart isn't operating, or multiple chambers of the heart aren't operating and functioning, then the other chambers are overcompensating. And what that does is creates more stress and wear and tear on the physical heart, and thus on every other organ, because the heart is literally the emperor or empress to every other organ of the body. And so each of these 4 dimensions of your life, the physical dimension, the emotional dimension, the mental dimension, and the spiritual dimension, those 4 dimensions of your life are like the 4 chambers of the heart. And when they're operating in harmony and resonance and coherence, then the distance of that boomerang, when you're on top of that mountain, you cast that intention, it returns to you quite quickly, because every area of your life is in harmony. Because when you do, then a journey of ascension is accelerated. What we've spoken about is the immortal body. The lower bodies, they get entrained into the higher bodies. The pain and the anguish that's been trapping you into these old belief systems of other relationships or other experiences of how it's going to be, all of that gets healed and gets resolved. Greater forgiveness can be attained inside, and it becomes effortless. All the things of the past become just like water on a duck's back, just flows off effortlessly, because the love that literally is inside you becomes emanating around you. And that love is the principle that can birth the light body. That love is what can create greater resonance with every dimension of your life, from human love to universal love. Now, the journey of this is a courageous one, because you have to be really able to look into the shadows. You have to look into the aspects that you sometimes don't want to see. You have to look into where the friction lies. You have to look into what may be the aspects that you're ignoring. And we want to share the journey of attaining and activating your divine potential, that divine blueprint that's in your spiritual body, in your soul, waiting to come into the physical life. And this is the journey from the me
to the we, to the I am.
And so the me stands for the mind's experience. You know, when we say me or mind, we're talking about what we own or what we have. That me is defined by an individual that's in divide with themselves and others, sees duality, me and you. This me mentality has to evolve. And when you evolve it, it's letting go of the fears, the ignorance, the flight, fright, or freeze and fawn response that happens, because this is the aspect of your brain which is known as the reptilian brain, which is the amygdala, that is there to help keep you protected. So the me, that aspect of the mind that engages, is trying to protect itself. And it's a very important aspect of survival.
And so from me, we go into we.
Yes, the me to the we. And the we stands for the world experience. Now, the world experience, when we understand that this is your reality, this is your perceptual filter. So the me is now coloring your world. And this is where your mental impressions, your personal filter and programs are now perceiving the reality around you. So your world experience comes from your mind experience. The me creates the we. And the world experience, there can be conditioning from parental conditioning where you've learned something that's not your own, but it's a belief from a parent. It might be certain societal conditioning.
And if the mind's experience is limited, then your world's experience will also always fall short of those same limitations.
When you do the inner work that's in divide, all of a sudden you start experiencing the oneness and the unity. So your world experience is not of division, even though the world may still be playing out its dysfunction and its dissonance, but you become the solution of resonance. You become in coherence with your brain and your heart. You come into resonance with a greater aspect of yourself where you start seeing a greater world and start envisioning a greater potential for the world. And so as the we creates more and more unity, that's when you start accessing the next level, which is the I am. And this is the infinite awareness. This is presence, that divine presence. This is that ability to live in the here and now. There's no pain, there's no suffering, there's no ignorance, there's no fear, there's just eternal love, happiness. The actual source of happiness is the I am. This is where you become more conscious. You're more at peace with yourself, more peaceful. And what we say is, what the golden age is world peace. But how do we achieve world peace? We have to pick up the pieces inside ourselves that are in divide. We must make them whole again. And when we live in peace, we can know what peace truly is, and then we can be a broadcast for peace to occur on the earth. So the I am is the experiencer. From the experiencer of the me, what he's having an experience, the world experience, the external experience, the I am is the experiencer, where everything is within you as awareness.
And from that space, stillness is possible. That ability to find a center deep inside of you where you become unmovable and unshakable no matter what is happening around you. This experience, the inner experience, is the place that is your safest place. It is the place where you can truly connect with the divinity. And it is the place where you can start to begin the attainment of why your soul has come here.
Yes, that sacred I am presence is that divinity that's waiting for you to bring your awareness to it. And as you start tapping into this, your life starts transforming because you're living in coherence and everything starts realigning into that coherent state. And the truth is that this I am, this expression is so simple to tap into. It's extremely simple to tap into this at any moment, to tap into the I am, to tap into the presence, the stillness. Right now, bring your awareness to your breath. Are you just breathing without taking a depth, without taking purpose to that breath, without taking awareness to that breath? Are you breathing consciously? Now you are, because we're talking about it. So you bring your awareness to that breath. The quality of your life, this is a big one. When I say this, I want to make sure you record this and write this down. The quality of your breath perfectly reflects the quality of your life. That bears repeating. The quality of your breath reflects the quality of your life. It all begins with breath, and it begins with bringing your life into harmony. When the first three aspects of life are in harmony, it gives birth to a higher spiritual life that is the key to ascending into a greater body of knowledge, of wisdom and illumination. And so now, let's reveal the formula. So the first aspect of the formula is the physical dimension, is I will. This is your intention. So setting your intention is so important. No matter what you want to manifest, no matter what you want to create, we've just shared with you one of the greatest potentials, the immortal body of light. But you may want to use this for just having a harmonious relationship. You may want to use this intention to heal your physical body. Maybe you want an intention for more finances or more abundance. You can use this for anything. But it all starts with that intention. But it must be purposeful. Because intentions that are coming from your ego, that's more about what I get from life, they're never going to manifest truly to bring ultimate happiness. They're going to give short-term fulfillment, this sort of instant gratification. But what we want to teach you to do is manifest the divine blueprint that we shared at the very beginning of this wisdom class, which is what your soul. So this is why you have to breathe with purpose. You have to breathe in and really feel, is your heart, is your field expanding? Do you feel expanded with the intention that you're setting? Or is it contracting you? Is it something more for the ego? It's more for the lower self.
The small self.
Yeah.
Always remember that. The ego is the small self. It's always going to try to reach for something. It's always going to try to take something.
But if your intentions are there to benefit others, and you will benefit in the process. So you may want to benefit to create greater finances, which creates greater service for others. The traumas you hold, the healing that you need is reflected by many. And so as you heal, you become an antidote, a medicine for others, an inspiration for others to know what's possible. Yes, and healing's, of course, not just physical, healing emotionally, healing mentally. Everyone needs to go through that healing process. And so the first process of this formula is your intention. What is that? Make sure you understand that we never truly do anything for ourselves. When we are focused on the whole, we can start seeing the other. We can start seeing ourselves in the others. And this is where it's important to know that greater successes in life, it's the greater generosity, the greater service that you've offered others in life. So really, we're emphasizing the intention to make sure you can dial in that and then consciously breathe into that intention to breathe with purpose. Second aspect is the emotional dimension. And this is I feel. This is the reflective process, is making sure with that intention, now you're amplifying the feeling. The feeling is that you've already got it. Because in truth, you already are it. There's nothing that you can actually experience in life that you are not. Because it's all a part of energy. And your physical body is equipped to experience any reality. But it's up to you to hone in the right feeling that's going to create that reality.
He says, all I ever experience is myself. Sit with that for a moment. That might be hard. That might be a hard pill to swallow.
Especially when there's triggers. You know, but he did that, she did this, but I feel like this because of that. It's a hard pill to swallow, to take full responsibility for your life. Full responsibility for your spirituality.
Full ownership.
Full ownership. And then the mind goes, oh, but what about the world and the wars? What about the famine, the catastrophe that's happened? That's because the lack of love, the lack of awareness, the lack of insight, the lack of spirituality that's created such division.
And there are many different types of karmas as well.
Exactly. So many of the world plays play out to actually clear and resolve karma. And sometimes they're on this rotation where the karma hasn't been healed. So these cycles and cycles are playing out again and again because the collective consciousness is at that level that creates that suffering. So it keeps appearing in the world.
There's personal karma, there's country karma, there's planetary karma, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah. So reflecting on your intention, when it's aligned with your soul, it's going to give expansion. You're going to feel expanded. You're going to feel this lightness. And when you bring in this gratitude, when you bring in positive affirming feelings, the energy in motion, emotion, is going to start sending that broadcast out to the world around you, to your reality around you. And then it's going to start magnetizing and amplifying. And the key to attracting that feeling back, because you've just sent that out, started internally with your intention. So what do you want to manifest? The intention. What do you want to see change? It starts with that intention. Then it's the feeling, that creative energy that's then sending out the broadcast. How do you then bring that back? It's the visualization. This is the dimension of your mental experience.
This is I see.
The I see. You're visualizing now what that looks like, and you're breathing into it. You're breathing into the perfect relationship where you can show up in love, in harmony. The perfect friendships where maybe there's been trauma in the past that you can heal. You're visualizing that healing, that harmonizing. Maybe it's the physical body. You're feeling the body healed, that it's healed now. You're visualizing every cell in your body happy and smiling, filled with light. You're feeling the body harmonious, vital with energy. You're seeing the success of life, not because you want to be successful for your self-benefit and personal aspirations that are creating more of the me. You're actually wanting to be a service to the world, and you're seeing the lives that can change. You're seeing the ways in which you can show up. You're seeing the world around you become more love-filled and harmonious.
That's right. And you start to also see that the structures around you that have been service to self for so long now become service to other. And what that does is that changes the people in your life. That changes the events in your life. That changes the way that you perceive yourself and thus the world's experience. It changes the me, it changes the we, it brings you back to the imperience because of the peace, because of the grace, because of the subtle power inside of you that is again unshakable.
And at this stage, the I see, that visualization, you engage the senses. What would that smell like? What would that taste like? What would that feel like? What does that sound like? What does it look like? You're engaging all the senses and you want to play that in, and what you're doing is you're remapping your neural processes. The axons and neurons in your brain, your neuroplasticity starts transforming. And you start rewiring yourself. You start rewiring your nervous system to be encoded to receive more light. Your body, your energy field starts being literally encoded to this higher vibration.
And that's the only way that you can heal from anything. That's the only way that you will be able to harmonize these aspects of your life. The only way is truly through love.
And so the next aspect of this formula is a spiritual dimension. The I am. This is the manifestation. This is because you've gone from the I will with the intention to the I feel, which is the reflection, to the I see, the visualization, to now the I am, where you can manifest that into your life. And this is where you must be that vibratory match of what your intention is, because the intention is the golden seed. The intention is planting that golden seed. And then I feel is nurturing that golden seed. And the I see is seeing that seed sprout and grow into a beautiful tree that then manifests fruit, which is now the sweet sensations of that intention coming to life. And when you can taste that fruit, you can experience that fruit, that's because you are living the fruits of the inner knowledge and wisdom of your spirituality being reflected to you in your reality. And so the key here to this secret formula is raising your vibration. To access this formula, you have to raise your vibration to achieve it. Are you surrounded by a community that's supporting those golden seeds to actually bear golden fruits in life? Are you supported by people in relationships where they want the best for you? They love you unconditionally and supporting you. You know, some like, that's a dream. You know, so many people like, how is that even possible? That's why a spiritual community is very important. So you can have a harmonic field to help lift you and raise you and support you. That's one of the most beautiful things that we witness in our community, is that people are so filled with love. They're so generous. They're so dharmic in their service. They want to give back and contribute and help others. And that just brings such a warm feeling of connection, such a feeling of love, and just great respect for people that show up in human kindness, that they're coming from kindness. And when you're supported by that kindness, those seeds grow very quickly.
And very strong.
And as we've shared about the great I am presence, one of our contracts in this life is to further the teachings of the I am, the ascended teachings. So it's not just about understanding ascension is possible, but it's about living the ascension process to embody the full potentiality of the great I am. And what if that was your reality? What if you experienced endless peace? Everything you observed, you saw in unison, you saw in oneness, you saw the source code that manifests all reality around you. Everyone that you witnessed was an expression of that light that is divinity. And if they couldn't see it, you can help bring that out of them by just shining your light. What if you lived in absolute harmony where suffering wasn't even a possibility? Your mind became so illuminated. All you knew was love. And love is the greatest wisdom possible. So our intention again, is to help you in every dimension of your life to raise your vibration. And so we want to offer you, if you choose to accept it and go down this path, we'll take you through a 28-day process where you can feel a community of support around you, be given sacred practices, to know sacred breath work, to know how to transform your life through nutrition and wellness, know exactly how to have right relationship with food, but then also understand how you can attain greater successes, how to amplify the field. Everything we teach you is what we have done ourselves, what we've learned on our path, and what we've embodied. And so we want to teach you the things that we do, the ways in which we live, and our greatest hope and faith is for you to fully live your divine potential.
We know that what we call Earth School can be a challenging place as the soul goes through its training or sadhana, which is the sacred practice of purification. But we wish to remind you that in every school there is also a playground. And sometimes people forget that sacred play is as essential as work. The most sacred play requires discipline in order for the golden seed to bear its most delicious fruit. This discipline keeps the balance and gives the soul the recess it needs to grow and blossom, just as the young child undergoing its own learning must do. We invite you to bring the mundane into the sacred and give yourself 28 days to refine your soul sadhana with us and an entire tribe of high vibrational people going through this process together. These 28 days of refined soul sadhana will walk you through daily lessons with us on how to create a foundational soul sadhana practice. This will include how to wake up every morning, what to focus on as your first thought, your first intention, the meditations to begin your day, how to integrate all the elements, earth, air, water, fire, into your life for manifestation and purification. Give you a unified prayer to recite and make a connection with your higher self. We'll walk you through with demonstrations, give you the tools for light diving that you'll need, give you practical wisdom that can be applied to everyday life in all of your moments, and create with you the foundation that can rebuild your life in these 28 days. You will feel the confidence to begin walking an authentic spiritual life and receive wisdom nuggets of how to raise your vibration and bring your golden seed into a truly golden life that is ready for a golden age of peace. Through these daily rituals, you will notice a rise in your vibration and feel a greater embodiment while incarnating more and more of the divinity of your soul essence and thus your soul's intelligence. We will be inviting you to open up your internal gates of gratitude to receive more grace, and we will help you expand your compassion and ability to receive and embody even more love in the world. The soul seeks sacred practice and is activated by sadhana. For the greatest mastery, it does require a soul sadhana to bring itself to higher embodiment, so that when you do send out your boomerangs from your heart, like we spoke about before, you will continue to be a vibrational match to bring them back into your manifestation. We wish to help you with the true dreams of your soul, become the reality that you seek, and manifest your soul's mission and purpose. We know that you will help us build a greater world and a legacy for the children to be born into where human beings return to human kindness. We invite you to join us, and it will be our joy to meet you there in the space created for your soul's sadhana.
We love you, we thank you, we appreciate you.
Blessed be.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I've got Deborah and Omashar on camera as well. And it's so funny how life is. The beloveds are so tuned in. Shekinah Ma sent me a text message just as this video was starting. And I've actually sent her some of the comments that Mark and Dr. Laura and Carol and some of the rest of you have sent in. And she's really been enjoying reading them. So Deborah and Omashar and I are going to chat briefly about the video. We're going to take your Q&A. We're also going to have another Omashar song in a moment. But also, please put your comments into the chat box so that I can share them with the beloveds. And Omashar, that's your first time seeing the video. And what stood out for you?
Holy smoke, I feel like I've been to the depths of heaven within myself and not back, because I'm still there. And to find two beings like this who have encapsulated everything that I've been working on within myself forever, and having it so succinct and perfectly presented, it's just a joy and a feast. And especially as what I'm dealing with in myself at the moment is how I keep on magnetizing to myself that which is in my programming, and how can I put the light into that programming so I don't manifest it anymore. So the boomerang that I send out returns to me, because especially when Shekinah Ma was talking about the boomerang, when the human being was on top of that rock, and you send it out so clearly and it comes back to you, but you've had a thought which has knocked you from childhood programming, which has knocked you back into a lower consciousness, and you miss that which you have chosen to manifest. And so it spoke to me so deeply that there's no words to encapsulate what it is, except that I've walked, like you, Scott, and perhaps Deborah, many paths. I've seen pretty much every lineage on the planet in the last 20, 30 years. And it's all distilled right here with Shekinah Ma and SanadaJI. So thank you so much.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful sharing. And Deborah Juliet, I know, of course, you've, of course, watched this before, but what stands out for you? What would you like to share with the audience? Deborah Juliet?
Oh, yeah. I was more kind of wanting to answer questions. Well, it's obviously says it all, right? So it says that we have to, or it's really, I always say you absolutely can have it all because you already are it all. So that brings you to the depth to why manifestation is a very simple process once you know who you are. But that's a journey. And once you find out more and more who you are and come into the stillness of knowing that you're not the drop, but that you are the ocean, the divine ocean, and that you are basically God has never been an entity outside of you, doesn't make any sense. Obviously you're a part of God and the divine, and then you are it all, so you don't need anything outside of you anymore. And of course, this is when you manifest everything ever. So, but that's a step process, and so that's exactly what the beloveds in a nutshell, to me, have been sharing. Whatever you would like to manifest starts within you, and then it comes automatic. And so they teach all of that you are it all, so that you can have it all. Or like, maybe also beautiful Yogananda. There's one sentence of Yogananda that I will never forget for the rest of my life. And he said at some point in your life, you have to choose between God or the fruits of God. If you choose the fruits of God, which are all on this planet, you will get them for sure. And that's it. If you choose God, you will have God and the fruits. So up to you to decide.
Beautiful. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you very much. So, of course, people are asking how to get the video. And really, it's very, very simple. To get the video, to sign up for the 28-day program, just go to TwinRay.com. And I'm going to show it right now. If you go to TwinRay.com and kind of scroll down, it's a beautiful website. Hopefully you guys are all seeing it. As you scroll down, all these beautiful visuals come in, and you'll eventually get to this video again. And as you scroll down and kind of enjoy this beautiful website, enjoy the visuals, enjoy right off the bat the teaching that they're providing. It's so gorgeous. And then here is the video. So you click there, and then at the end of the video is where you can register for the 28-day program. And talk about timing, the 28-day program starts tomorrow. They originally would have started earlier, and there were some things that kind of caused a few delays. A lot of people have been working very hard on creating it. Deborah has been helping to build a whole new platform. So if you go to twinray.com, that's how you can get going. Now, you don't have to start the 28 days tomorrow, but that is when that's when many of us are going to start the program, and they're kind of making it available starting tomorrow. So this is a perfect time. And one of the reasons why we did time to do this show tonight. So I'm seeing Dr. Laura's question about Shekinah Ma and SanadaJI's background. I'll share a little bit, and then Deborah Juliet, if you want to add to it, you can, just come on in, and I'll put the spotlight on you as well. Shekinah Ma there was another woman, another soul, another being who was living in England, who got very, very sick and was dying. And Shekinah Ma's spirit came into the body of the dying woman. And it was about a 7-day transition period. This took place, I believe, about 7 or 8 years ago, if I have that correct. And that's how she came in. So she did not have a traditional earth life, if you will. SanadaJI was, born in the body that he's in right now. And when he was a young man, he gave away everything. He literally gave away his clothes to a homeless person and took on the homeless person's clothes. He made his way to the Himalayas, where he literally lived in a cave and studied directly with Mahavatar Babaji from the Yogananda lineage. And that's where he received a lot of his education and his wisdom. They met in Egypt. It's a whole long, beautiful story where they were both drawn to Egypt. And he was in a taxi cab, and he heard her voice. The cab was stopped at a light, and he heard her voice singing. And he recognized it. He jumped out of the cab, followed the voice, and that's where they first met at the foot of the Great Pyramid, and pretty quickly recognized each other. So it's a very, very beautiful love story. And they've been together now for about 6 years, and have created this whole community from scratch. And there's a lot that they do. Deborah Juliet, is there anything you'd like to add? I'm going to bring you on too. Is there anything you'd like to add about their background or their story?
Yeah, no. He always knew who he was. I mean, obviously, he's an enlightened master, there's no doubt to me. And I've just can feel these things, and I've been seeing too many miracles to be thinking otherwise. And Shekinah Ma, same, but she is a so-called walk-in. So also from the beginning, she knew who she is, but she walked into the body 10-10-10 at the age of so-called of 33. And then it takes the entire 7 years for a body to incorporate the divine light, or incorporate anyone's light at their level, because it just takes exactly 7 years for the entire body, to renew itself. In every single cell, it's 28 days for the skin, but it's the brain that takes exactly 7 years. All the brain cells renew themselves within 7 years. So the entire body. So it took 7 years to incorporate the entire light. But obviously, the second she was in the body, I mean, that consciousness she represents, she always knew who she was. And it's the same with SanadaJI, but he was born in that body, and she just came into the body.
Beautiful. All right. Well, I'm going to turn it over to Omar Shar for a song to kind of get us up and moving and grooving. And if there are other questions, please pop them in the chat box, and Deborah and I will do our best to answer them. And then we're going to have a meditation with the beloveds. And then we're going to have this beautiful KES group healing experience with Deborah and her beloved friend Natalie, who's visiting all the way from Europe. But here is, there's Natalie. Hello, Natalie. And here's a beloved Omar Shar for another musical number.
Lost in a sea of illusion, feeling so alone. Lost on a wave of confusion, where do you turn? Flow with the tide of completion. Know the reason why. Drink in the waters of healing. And be healed. We're coming home to the part of us that's waking up. And we know deep inside of us we've got a friend. And we remember dive into the depths of your being. Know that all is well. And dive into the deepest ocean. And see the truth. And cast off the cover of darkness. And free yourself from fear. Show that you're ready and willing to make the change. We're coming home to the part of us that's waking up. And we know deep inside of us, we've got a friend. And we remember the design of our lives. We remember the desire in our hearts. And we feel love. And we feel
That's all twinkle, beloved Omashar. What a perfect song after that video and just kind of the energy of tonight. Thank you so much, Omashar.
Thank you.
That was a perfect choice. Absolutely perfect choice.
Mhm.
Pam just wrote, I truly believe that every time I hear Omashar music, my heart grows 3 sizes. And Jerry, our beloved wild monk, Jerry Anderson writes, Omashar always knows how to pick up the ball. Absolutely. He always, just great choices, really great.
Nice reflections. Thank you.
Yeah, Christy Michael says, sweet song, beloved Omashar. Helen Wong says, blessings, Omashar. And George says, no fumbles. That's true. He never fumbles. And Helen's enjoying the dancing of Adora and Eleanor Joy and everyone else. So thank you. And please do keep those comments coming in. I don't see any questions from people. So I'm going to actually go to this is a shorter video, but for tonight's meditation, we're going to have the TwinRay lead it. And this is, of all the different meditations, this is still my favorite one. This is actually from a show that I did with them about probably 2 years ago now. And it starts with this beautiful song that she recorded. And the story of it, she'll tell you a little bit about it, but she was just singing to the children, feeling the pain of the children in the Middle East. Mind you, this is 2 years ago, before the current war. And her cell phone just mysteriously went on and started to record. And so it recorded her song, which she realized was a transmission. And then they did add some of the visuals that you're going to see. It's not a highly produced song. It's just off of her cell phone as she sang. But it's so beautiful. And then from that song, the two of them go into just a really beautiful meditation about claiming our divinity. So let's go to that video. And as I say, I've probably listened to this video myself at least 30 or 40 times. It's one of my absolute favorites. It's really, really special. And let me just pull it up in the right spot. I'm going to put it in the advanced settings, which is how we get the best recording of it. And I invite you to really drop in and experience the video with them as they speak, tuning into, again, her song kind of opens our hearts, and especially knowing what's going on in the world right now in the Middle East. It's so incredibly tragic what's happening. By the way, I'm still scanning and looking for the video because I have so many videos. Here we go. Here it is.
So I was here by myself, and I had placed my phone down, and I just started to sing. I was singing the voice of the mother to the children, receiving the prayers and sending them right back, sending the miracles consistently. And I was even moved. There's a moment, you'll probably hear it, but I even have tears running down my face during this moment, because the prayers are so significant, and because the suffering is so great right now. And it also connected into when this was written and what was happening at that time. And so this is a transmission. And the miracle here is that the phone just started recording this transmission all on its own. And then when I went back to it after the practice was complete, a couple hours later, there was this long recording of this transmission. And I remember I said, this is a transmission now that needs to be given. Now, this isn't a produced song or video or anything. It's just my singing a cappella in the center, transmitting from my pure heart to the pure heart of the world. And that's what it is.
All right, I'm pulling it up.
Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua kaberina tamcha sabenu darenu noa Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua Nagibod do shahi khudecha kvevat shamurem Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua Bachem tachalem rachame zirkateka tamid gamlem Hana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua Asin kadosh burov tufka naeladatecha Ana bekoge julat yaminecha tati tehua Yachid gelamcha penesocha kadushatecha Hana bekoge julat Aveinu kabel ushma, sarkatenu yodeat alumo. Hana bekoket ulat yaminea, tati deua. Baruch Hashem, kavod malchuto leolam ba'ed. Amen.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
With the vibration of your voice, so is you, you know. And whenever I listen to the video, and I play it for myself sometimes, it brings great comfort. It brings very, very great comfort. And I'd love to just go straight into, if you'd like to, as we're in this beautiful vibration, lead a short meditation for us, please.
Take a moment and just turn your eyes inwardly into your heart, to the center of your heart. Beautiful expression of the divine that's living and beating inside you. And take a breath into the center of that heart, and as you exhale, just relax your body. It's relaxing in to this moment, letting all of the week just fall away, all of the day just drop to the wayside, and all that remains is the presence of your pure, beating heart. And just take a moment to contemplate and to feel this statement, this sharing, that you are the miracle of divine love. You, in this moment, in this life, you are the miracle of divine love.
For it were not for divine love, you would not be here. You are the very miracle that divine love made in manifest form.
Letting go of all thoughts about your personal experience, your story, your person. Just let that all go as well, and just be present. That one truth, that you are the miracle, divine love. Your very existence, the very front of this experience of your life is the miracle. And that awareness, that pure awareness, that moment before the thought arises, but that pure witness, that is the very source of love. Just allow yourself to be present in that purity that you are. No matter what the mind thinks, no matter what the mind may project or judge throughout its time, turning your mind and your awareness inwardly to your heart, the true nature and the spark of divinity that allows you this very precious gift, the incarnation, this very breath of spirits that sustains you in this moment. contemplate that and allow that contemplation to open up more inside you throughout this show, throughout tonight. Allow that contemplation that you are divine love manifested, that your life is only possible because of divine love. And you are that miracle of divine love. And as you feel that, as you go deeper with that, allow yourself to acknowledge where you may not express that, where you may not choose to live that, and the powerful divine will that's been given to all humans. That free will is to choose love. And then you realize it's never a choice.
With every breath you take, you have the opportunity to choose love. You have the opportunity to open yourself right now 100% to the beauty and the bounty of divine love. For divine love, in its presence and in its witness, glorifies every particle of you. It upholds, uplifts, and gives in great cherishing love. An expression that is so deep within the makeup and the very fabric of your soul's essence. Divine love is what you are made of, and the miracles do not exist outside of you. They exist deep within the core of your heart. They open with the doors and the gateways by the purity of your righteous actions, your thoughts, your deeds, your virtues. Contemplate, do you allow divine love to truly envelop your essence? And do you choose to drop and dissolve everything that could disallow that experience? In this meditation, we invite you to choose with great vehemence and great conviction inside of you that you choose now to open, no matter what you've done, no matter what has been done to you, to that presence of divine love. For it shall never judge you. It shall never do anything but give and share the love of creation that you already are.
And the capacity for you to feel divine love, the depths of your being, how deep you feel love perfectly is exemplified by how much compassion you can give. The greater compassion that you can give to this world and to others and have for all of creation is the greater capacity to feel that love of truth that you are. And the beautiful thing with love, true, divine, perfect love, when you taste it, when you experience it, and you taste from the fountain of the true self, the supreme real and supreme reality. When you taste that, nothing else will ever do. And so we ask each one of you do you wish to taste the nectar of the miracle of your true nature? Do you wish to taste the miracle of divinity itself? Do you wish to drink from the fountain of God's grace? And if you wish that, all you need to do is surrender, surrender, and surrender.
And surrender some more.
And when you do, you'll be caught in the ocean of eternal bliss, eternal love. So may you feel that, and may you never forget that, and may you never forget who you truly are, what you truly are, and to show up from that knowing, because to know God is to love God, and to love God is to know God. And when you choose love over everything else, you take refuge in the presence of the Almighty. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
That's just the most beautiful prayer. I've put into the chat box the link where you can play it. And of course, it includes the miracle song and the video. And Shekinah Ma has been recording an album with Peter Cater and Kristen Hoffman. Kristen has come out to Ashland 3 times now to work with her. And the album includes a version of her miracle song, Refined, with Peter Cater playing piano. And we'll definitely do a show about that. So I'm going to quote our beloved wild monk, Jerry Anderson. He put in the chat box, "Praise the Creator, Piper is here." And I am praising the Creator, and I am grateful that Piper Dellums is with us. And so Piper, I'm going to bring you on camera, and there you are. And there is our absolute beloved soul sister, Piper. And also bringing on camera Deborah Juliet, who's been doing a lot of beautiful healing work with Piper. So
she has dedicated so much of her time, her gift, her medicine, her essence, her vision, her love through you, Scott. And it has made such an incredible difference in my body and in my spirit. And I've actually been thirsty to be back in her presence. So thank you so much for letting me know and inviting me back to come live so that I can sit in this divine healing. I've been a little anxious for Wednesday morning, but I just am getting this feeling that I'm going to leave this healing today and my oncologist is going to go, "There's nothing there." I don't know why I'm believing it, but
it's interesting. Wednesday is when you're going in for surgery, and it's also when our beloved Eleanor Joy is also going in. So I'm going to bring Eleanor up. So Wednesday, everybody, let's remember on Wednesday morning, the moment we wake up, to be thinking of Piper and Eleanor Joy. How interesting, you're both having the same day. Yeah. So I'm going to turn it over to Deborah and Natalie to kind of share with us. They're going to, of course, be doing their healing work, both for the entire group, all of us, and also with specific focus on Piper and Eleanor Joy. So Deborah, I'm turning it over to you.
Yes. Namaste again. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. My beloved sister. It's such a joy every time to see you and to see the changes, the light that the light is doing. And yeah. Don't cry, my love. I love you so much. And I know, and you know. I know you know. Yeah, it's such a joy. So what we have decided together today, because as you know, light gets multiplied and exponentially multiplied once we come together. And that's why it's so important that we all come together. We have decided to give you a very special group healing together, the two of us. And while we do that, you or I, who is going, one of us is going to, it doesn't matter. One of us is going to work specifically on Piper at the same time. Now the divine totally can do that. We all know that. And so maybe what we will do, okay, so I think now that we have also Eleanor, what? Exactly. So so we will work on Piper and Eleanor and at the same time on the entire group. So the two of us can do that together. And yeah, definitely no problem at all. It's just a matter of focus. And I think this is definitely something we can do. Yeah, now I can see. So I invite you all to, because it's really for everyone, and again, specifically for Piper and for Eleanor, and you will receive a very special healing, the two of you tonight, at the same time. So I invite all of you now to make yourself feel as comfortable as you can. Relax deeply into your body. Close your beautiful eyes. Lay down or sit straight, whatever feels most comfortable to you. And what's always helpful is really connect as deeply as you can to the source that you already are, that you are coming from. And basically, if you can envision a light, a beam of light, because that's really what it is, coming from the central sun all the way through your crown chakra, through all of your chakras, all the way down into the center of Mother Gaia. And now visualize this column of light that is feeding you at all times, that is truly who you are. Coming back, literally that column of light going down into the center of the earth and now coming back into love. And opening literally each and every chakra and beaming that light into each and every cell of your body. It's going to help the process a lot. And I will think, are we prepared? Chakras are verticalized. We're there. So I will now read the decree. Okay, I will read the prayer. And then we'll start, and our beautiful Uma Shah will then accompany Natalie and myself with his angelic divine music. Still of mind and clear of heart, I enter now into the cosmic portal of home, where the higher self of Piper and Eleanor and the entire audience awaits. With open heart, complete trust and surrender, and in the name of the divine cosmic Christ, I ask now for the manifestation of the highest timeline reality for Piper, Eleanor, and the entire audience to become realized of mind, body, and soul with gentle lessons and graceful process, and increase this holding as much as the cosmic law, physical body, and Piper's, Eleanor's, and the audience's soul shall allow. I choose now to live in the reality where the healing has already been accomplished. The fates have been altered and our prayers answered through thine holy presence of love. While honoring the free will of all, I give my complete thanks and gratitude for all that has already occurred through your mighty presence and thine eternal light. I am free. The soul is free. All is free, and so it is. Amen. Please, beloved masters, Shekinah Ma and SanadaJI, and all enlightened masters that you are connected to, that you are believing in, that have been always with you, all angels, all divine beings that have been working with you and that are protecting you. Enter this healing journey and help with your power, love, light, wisdom, and consciousness, this manifestation process for an even greater shift. I, Deborah Juliette, and Natalie Eliane, we are asking and call upon the Cosmic Christ Supreme Intelligence to support and facilitate this group KES holding session. We ask permission from all receivers present to receive this group holding with the highest good and divine grace for all involved. We request on behalf of the entire audience to become aligned for the duration of this session to the divine intelligence of the Christic energy system, with grace, with ease, and with joy. We invite the cosmic Christ energy to connect with us now in the most appropriate way for all involved. May all that transpires in this microcosmic reflection of our group constellation support and uplift the ascension of the entire human collective and all sentient life. We also call forth assistance from the Divine Heavenly Mother and Heavenly Father presence to overlight this group container with pure unconditional love from the Most High. May all be known through this connection of pure love, so that group holding session anchors in us in the most benevolent. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Thank you. And so be it. It is done. It is done. It is done. It is complete. Thank you so much, beloved brother Omashin, for completing this. Thank you. How do you feel?
Deborah, at the very end, there was so much swirling of gold light and then shadow. Shadow was being enveloped with white swirls. I felt like I was in this swirl, this collective swirl. And it started with a block somewhat in my throat and then in my heart, which you always reach my heart. But at the very end, so my father came to me, which I wasn't expecting. So through that beautiful white light, his face shone, and he just nodded. He nodded like it's gonna be all right. I wasn't expecting that. So beautiful. So thank you, Deborah.
It's not us doing anything. Please know that. You know that. I know you. It's your faith. And you're such a beautiful heart. We love you so much.
Love you so much. Love all of you, Eleanor. I love you. I'm going to be praying for you every second, Eleanor. You're just such a precious spirit in the earth. I just love you so. We have angels with us both. Wednesday is just going to be a day of angels for both of us.
An army of angels.
Army of angels.
Or like I always used to say, we are the FBA, the Federal Bureau of Angels, right? And we are gonna win. Yay! Eleonora, would you like to share something you wish? Unmute.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
I want to share what I just wrote in the chat, because at one point, Piper, I felt our souls totally connected, dancing. It like there was nothing else. It was just our souls dancing in the quantum field. And it was so spectacular and just so amazing. And yeah. So I know this
Dance with
sounds
you in the
crazy, but
quantum field is the most beautiful gift.
yeah, I know. I just feel almost blessed and honored that we're dancing this dance together. Crazy as that sounds.
We get to carry each other home.
That's it.
I love you.
Can do nothing. Nothing alone. Nothing.
Thank you, everybody. You're just a marvelous community. And thank you, Scott. Gosh.
I want to read some of the comments that are in the chat box. Christy Michaels writes, what an awesome community of love. Sharon writes, great gratitude for your divine grace-filled hearts. Beth is appreciating Omashar's accompaniment, which was exquisite. Dr. Laura writes, this healing carried me back up to the top of the mountain. It is impossible to have mundane thoughts or feelings on top of that mountain, only awe, wonder, love, bliss, and appreciation. So much gratitude. Mark appreciating Omashar's music. And finally, Pam writes, watching the peaceful looks on sweet Eleanor and sweet Piper's faces during that experience, I can't help but feel there are miracles occurring within and without. Such beautiful examples of receiving the healing powers of love. So thank you again, Deborah Juliette and Natalie. I've put into the chat box kind of Deborah's bio, and she does provide, if you're interested in getting a private healing from her, you can email her. Sam just wrote, blessings on your path I felt the healing in my heart too. And Carol Craig writes, tonight was magnificent. But wait, tonight's not over, because we are going to conclude with an Om Shar song. Take it away, beloved brother.
Here with my family, heaven is in my heart. I sing of the love I am, and know it never apart. One heart, one love, one life we live. One heart, one love, one life we live. Sing with me. Here with my family, heaven is in my heart. I sing of the love I am, and know it never apart. There is only one heart, one love, one life we live. One heart, one love, one life we live. Here with my family, heaven is in my heart. I sing of the love I am, and know it never apart. One heart, one love, one life we live. One heart, one love, one life we live. One more time with gusto. Here with my family, heaven is in my heart. I sing of the love I am, and know it never apart. There is only one heart, one love, one life we live. One heart, one love, one life we live. We live. We
One final big twinkle for Om Shar. Thank you, beloved brother. Perfect song, as always. Just amazing your ability to choose the right song every time.
Thank you. We are one family, brother. And you brought us together. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. And I, of course, always like to let people know what's coming up next. On Wednesday night, Tatiana is going to be back with us, and she's bringing some of her friends. And the theme is Awaken We the Peaceful. What does it really mean for us to be a global peace tribe? And that's what we're going to be exploring on Wednesday night. So please join us, always 6 p.m. Also, I've been in touch with Marianne Williamson today, and we are looking at setting a date. She entered back into the race. Life is always full of shifts. So we are going to do something again with Marianne very soon. And probably by Wednesday, I'll have a date for you. And then finally, I just want to one more time remind people that the place to go to really follow up on tonight. If your heart was touched by the beauty and the wisdom of the TwinRay, go to twinray.com. Twinray.com. There's a lot on the website, all sorts of beautiful videos, a lot of wonderful things. They provide a lot of free things. And that's where you can also get going with the 28-day sadhana, which many of us are going to be doing together. So thank you again, Deborah and Natalie, for your beautiful service. And I'm going to go one last time up to gallery view so we can all wave goodbye. Piper, we love you. Remember, everybody, to be praying for Piper and for Eleanor Joy. When we wake up on Wednesday morning, our first thought, prayers, maximum grace for Eleanor Joy and Piper. Maximum grace for Eleanor Joy and Piper. Maximum grace for Eleanor Joy and Piper. Good night.
And we also want to say something more to finalize. Beautiful Piper and Eleanor. I just spoke to Natalie, and so both of us are find it important to share with you, so that not only did we see literally the entire, I mean, I could see the entire blood system filled with light in such a way that the entire heart was like almost like, how can I exploding the light from the heart through the entire blood system. And we both saw you were already healed. So it's done. It is done.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Deborah. Thank you very much, Natalie. And God's blessings. Have a beautiful sacred Sunday, everybody. Remember, we can make any moment sacred by choosing to see the divine in all. Good night, everyone. Going to go one last time to gallery view, and let's all wave goodbye. Good night, everybody.